So this week, when something major happens on the same subject, I will get like 50 emails on a Monday. You know what I mean? I know something is happening.
There's nothing wrong with that. We know.
Yeah, we know. But without opening the first one, I know some major shit's going down. So this week, same thing. Last Tuesday, Wednesday, it started rolling in. Well, guess what? They're getting the gray clouds with the dollar signs that we had for about 8 months, right?
Yeah.
They're all like, what the F is this? I said, to all of them, I said, we had this for like 8 months now. It rolled in like the gray clouds, like as if they couldn't pick a better color. It's like depressing gray clouds with dollar signs. This is it. This is my app.
Yeah.
So where those gray clouds and dollar signs used to be red surge, flat surge. You know what I'm saying, Tony? Mm-hmm. This is LA, buddy. This is your background.
Sure is.
So now I am 100% sure that Uber slowly, is adjusting the surge algo. Okay, without a question, because where those dollar signs are supposedly is high demand, and if you drive towards those dollar signs, right, you should be making boku bucks. Not so, people. Just like the surge, don't chase any of this. Now, in order to make this really simple, I clicked on. So what you guys can do is you can click on one of the dollar signs in your city, $3, $2, whatever. You will get this. You will get the map on the left screenshot. High earnings forecast, it says, is 29 miles away from me, 45 minutes. Start navigation. Absolutely not Uber. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, you're just deadheading right there.
Yeah, deadhead 45 miles to catch those $3 signs. No, thank you. So now, once you do that, do you guys see on the upper right-hand corner, there's an eye in a circle? That's information. You click on that, you will get to these next two screenshots. So this clearly explains what an earnings heat map is, which is replacing. I'm telling you, Tony, it's replacing. Surge hunting is going to be obsolete now. I don't think, no surge, no ride. I don't know. I don't think I can even do it anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it says earnings heat map. The heat map shows you zones where you could expect to have higher earnings. Use it to take the guesswork out of driving. Bullshit. What the gray represents. You, first of all the people at Uber who work on, the psychological games that they play, gamification, gamblification, you donkeys could not come up with a better color to entice my appetite to go towards that dollar, like green maybe? No.
Or a better sentence.
Honestly, that blue is so mopey and dreary. It's like I look at it and it's like,
yeah, I don't even want to do it now. I'm like,
it turns me off. I'm like, go offline. Go on Lyft.
So what do you think about this, Tony? What do you think about this thing?
I have many thoughts about surge. In fact, I always thought that Uber's and Lyft's purpose of surge was to get drivers to the places that they want them to go.
Yeah.
And so you put a carrot in front of you, or you call it a sugar. You put the sugar out there for the ants, and I definitely will. I'm a sucker for it. I will go to it, and sometimes I'll go places where I'm like, I don't want to go to Bel Air, because once you go up that hill to get to that $14 number, you're stuck, because on the way there you're passing like $5, $6 to get to that 14. And you're like, God, if I can just make it there. And so sometimes I'll even screen record just to show the frustration of, I'm so close, and then they take it away.
And then it's disappeared. Yep.
You know better. Better, Tony. You know better.
I do know better.
Dragon.
I do know better. But there's part of me who's like, you can't just disappear a $14 surge to zero and not get sued one day. Because that is the ultimate bait and switch, right? And so like, it should peter down to like 12 and then 10 over time. It's just nothing. And like nothing for like the whole area as soon as you get there.
Well, because the thing is, you're not the only one who's going to that same $14 surge. There's 25 other drivers that just hit the same exact spot you are.
Or
that's the case.
You know what? Or Tony, what happens is that if people understood how the surge algorithm actually worked, right, they wouldn't be going there, right? Because we will do a special episode one day about how the actual surge algorithm, because it literally starts, surge starts building when literally a passenger just turns the app on without even, ordering a trip, right? They all have values, but we'll go into that in detail later. So what the gray area represents. So it says gray zones expect high earnings for the next hour. So meaning it's not there yet. So that when you guys see the $3 and $4 signs, it's not current demand. It's gonna come in an hour. So don't rush going to the dollar sign. Okay? Yeah. Stay put. Turn the engine off. Stay where exactly you're at. Let the tornado come to you as opposed to you chase the tornado. Because you know what happens when you chase a tornado? Not too many good things happen when you chase a tornado. So, and then it says, when you're in the gray zone, okay? In these zones, you could earn more than average earnings for that hour, that's it, in your city. 2 asterisks. Uber always has to put 1, 2, 3 asterisks.
Read the fine print.
Yeah, coming up. That's coming up. So you can read the fine print now, Chris. So for the highest potential earnings, navigate to the dollar signs. No, do not navigate to anything. Just stay put. How we made the heat map. And here it goes. We combine historical earnings over the past 28 days with current market conditions, promotions, surge, and wait times. So there's this other algo in there that they figured out. Let's put $3 gray signs here, 2 here, 4 here. So none of this is current, and this absolutely not proved to me that this is going nationwide, right? All those 50 emails had screenshots like mine. They go, what is this? Surge has disappeared. It's replaced with this gray thing. I'm going like, yep, they changed the surge algo in your city too, because that's what they're doing. And if you guys read the asterisk, please go read it. And it's not pretty. So I kind of figured this out when I got it 8 months ago in my app, and I'm sure all LA drivers figured this out. So welcome to the gray maps, people, all over the country now. Now, is it going to be tougher to make money? Probably not as much as you guys think. Okay. Because I'm telling you now, you have to be really smart, because I have had this situation for 8 months. I played with it. I study it. There are going to be pings, if you're cherry picking, that come in with a hidden surge, because on the back end of this, Uber is ripping the passenger for sure on some trips. And guess what? The algorithm is actually generous enough to share that with you. So when you get an 8-mile trip that gives you $23, boom, there's a hidden surge. And when you finish it, you look at the receipt, you will see a hidden surge on there. So you have to be more in tune now with your app. You have to be more studious. You cannot just go willy-nilly now. Let me go to the $4 sign. No.
Yeah, because you'll be sitting there with all your other drivers.
Yeah, all your other buddies.
We were on the phone earlier talking about this. And basically, this is funny because I had this now for a few weeks in my app. Yeah. And how we were talking about when it came to the quest goals versus the ride goals, and how there's difference. So there's a difference in Buffalo between, I still have the ride goals and I still have them today. While others in the area have quest goals. Now, the funny part is I started getting this $ blue map of, dreariness is what I'm going to start calling it. I started getting this about a month ago or whatever. I think I texted you, Sergio, that I'm like, oh, look what we finally got. Yeah. And then the same thing. I just the other day, I started getting texts from people saying, hey, what is this crap? I said, it's a big nothing burger, exactly what it is. The reason is because all it is trying to do is just try to redistribute drivers who are looking at it. Oh, there's $4 over there. I'm going to go over there. Well, if 35% of the entire map sees that, and the reason why I say it that way is because everybody's going to have different maps. So that's the other thing. They're trying to redistribute drivers to be in the spots that they want them to be, which could affect surge and basically make it disappear. So when you're surge chasing, now you're chasing pretend money, essentially. I mean, you're not even guaranteed that because it says for the hour. And then if you read the extra details and all that, but that's the whole thing. It's like they're going to show different maps to the same exact area. It's just depending on what group you're going to be grouped into, whether you're A, B, C, D, how many ever zones there are. And you just got to be careful with that. You got to know where the rides are coming in. This is why knowing your market is going to be the best thing for you. Even testing your market. That's something you should always be doing. You shouldn't just sit in the same exact spot saying, oh, I know exactly what's going on, because, you know, somewhere downtown, another area, they could be hitting 2-3 times the amount that you're making in the same amount of time. So this is where you still got to test things. But when it comes to this map, when it comes to that, don't fall for it. Just don't.
Yeah, don't fall for it. So Tony, do you still have the quest count, or do you have the dollar count or dollar quest?
I have the quest number right now. I don't have the dollar yet.
Dang.
Is that bad?
Please keep it as long as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could keep that. Same thing with me, Tony. I have the, you know, the 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 rides.
Yeah.
And it's so much better than the other one.
Yeah, 100%. We did like the numbers comparison is so much better, but the reason it may work for you is because I know you've changed your strategy and style a little bit for more longish kind of trips. You may like the dollar quest goal.
Yeah, well, just like Chris was saying, I totally agree with you. You should always be experimenting. You should always be trying out new things. And Sergio, you teach us all the time too. You know, keep stats of what you're doing. Yeah. And so for a while, I was doing little shorties over at USC, and I was kind of surprised at how much the shorties can add up to good trips. You know, and then I was like, well, hell, I'm at the airport, and they're offering me $50 to go across town, and it's gonna be a little over an hour, but can I really make $50 off of shorties in an hour? Probably not. So let me give it a try. But again, another reason I love you, Sergio, is that's not the full pie. That's not the full picture. You got to figure out gas. You got to figure out where you're ending up. And I was ending up in places that were not paying me at all, including San Diego, a place that was not going to pay me, a place that I didn't know. And somehow I had to work my way back up. But because of upfront pricing, I was under the impression that I could take rides going back home a lot easier than with the destination filter. And so I'm constantly experimenting. But I will tell you this about the number for Quest. Last week was the first week that I wasn't able to hit that number. And
did you pick a high number?
I always pick 80. I always swing for the fences, and usually I hit it. And they punish me for that. Instead of giving me 220, they'll be like, the next week they'll drop it by like $10, $15, and like they keep dropping it until you fail. And then meanwhile, Lyft will give me a really good bonus. So maybe I'll drive for Lyft for.
Well, the best thing you have done, Tony, which I know you have, is multi-apping and driving between the two, right? Because you are strictly like an Uber lover. No, I'm not a lover, but Uber driver, right? Like most of us are. I mean, most of us are Uber drivers. I mean, you know. And then, but you switched and not switched, but you balanced yourself a little bit more to give you more opportunity, right?
And this is another thing that you preach beautifully here. And everybody who's stuck on one or the other, and anytime I take a ride as a passenger, I always quiz the drivers and ask them all this stuff. Yeah. Most of them, unless they're total ants, are only doing one or the other. Yeah. And I say you got to at least peak, because every now and then Lyft might say, you want $200 for driving 30 rides? Yeah. And thank God you look at, early enough in the quest so that you don't have just one day to try to hit those 30 rides. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, but show me the money, man. Whoever shows you the money, you go that way. Because when you play this game with them, by the way, the algorithm that puts out the quests or bonuses, incentives, let's say, Lyft knows that they hadn't thrown a bone to you for like 3 weeks, but you've been driving Uber strictly for 3 weeks, sucking on those quests anyway. And then Lyft will throw you, and then that'll be the week that Uber doesn't give you anything because they figured, okay, this ant is driving anyway. I don't have to give him them. And then you go buy Uber, and then you go back, and Uber goes, damn, what happened to this guy? We lost this guy, so let's get him back. That's so right. You just got to play this game between the two of them, This miss me.
One final thing, Sergio, that you helped me with recently was I wasn't getting the quest at all. And I thought it was because I was making too much money. And you said, reach out to them, which is not easy to do on this thing. There's I mean, I'm at like diamond or platinum. Like I'm a full blown, I'm in, I'm Uber Pro. I need 400 points to diamond, right? So like you would think that I would have a button by now that says, just email us. What's the deal? Like, keep driving for us, man. We've made a fortune off you. It's hard. And so what I had to do is I had to out them on Twitter And the Twitter support, boom, right away, DM us, what's the deal? And I said, I'm not getting quests. And they're like, well, they give you all the nonsense. And then suddenly the next week I was getting quests.
You got to ask, man.
So thank you, Sergio, because I wasn't getting quests for the longest time. I just thought I was blacklisted or whatever.
Yeah, you got to ask.
Well, you also got to make it known to them that your time is up to the highest bidder, and then that way, that's where you get put into the different spots, saying, okay, they're not accepting everything. They're not the one that we can count on to drive at this time through this time and go to this place to that place or whatever it is. So you start feeding the algorithm what you want it to know, then it's going to start feeding you what you want to see.
Yes.
All right, thanks for watching. That short little clip was from our live stream, Show Me the Money Club with Sergio and myself, Tuesdays, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Make sure you subscribe, turn on all notifications so you'll be notified when we go live, as well as all of our awesome content. Make sure to check out this video right here, which will take you to the entire live stream, or check out this video right there. All right, drive smart, everyone.